You ever wake up thinking it's just going to be another quiet day, and then your neighbor gifts your private leg tater kid and calls the cops on you? I'm serious. It happened. My name's Dave Morgan, and this is how I ended up fighting the most entitled HOA Karen I've ever met, and how I realized I was holding the cards the whole time. It all started on a morning much like any a theory. Stepped onto my porch with my coffee still steaming in the mug when I saw Ida, massive glossy wooden sign newly erected beside my 2-acre lake. It read Morgan Memorial Lake, a gift from HOA President Jenna Roberts to Jesse Roberts, and below it, in smaller letters, dedicated for our community children. Blinked, looked again. This had to be a prank, right? But then I heard laughter and saw this kid Jesse perched by the lakeshore live streaming, holding his phone out like he just won the lottery. "Yo guys, welcome to Jesse's Lake," he shouted. "Thanks to my mom, I basically run this place now. Pool party this weekend. Who's coming?" My jaw dropped. He was picturing image after image off fishing where I always fished, campfires I always built. He was treating it like a community park. So, walked down and said, "Nice and calm, Jesse, take your live stream. And that's sign down. This is private land." He scoffed, waved his hand like dismissing a fly, and said, "My mom's HOA President, dude. She did all the proper work. HOA rules, community needs. This is for everyone now." I caught the Thomas tone, you know that smug teenager confidence, and I just asked again, "Your mom did what?" He shoved the phone in his pocket and got pissed. "Look man, community first." He looked at me like I was an insect before I could even think of how absurd. This was Jenna Roberts herself, walked up perfectly wearing a blazer like she was about to chair a board meeting. And maybe she was. She said, "Howdy," and explained very sweet, very polished, that they'd had a long HOA board vote and decided the lake was fourth community. She positioned it like a product launch. She even threw in "Think." Of the kids, her voice was Thathany tongue persuasion. And I swallowed herd and said, "Jenna, that's private tepperpurdy." But she had a card left. "David F. This guy is harassing my son, threatening kids, whatever, it's a community safety issue." And in the next moment, she presses her phone, dials 911 in front of me, and puts it on speakeries. "I need to report a dangerous man threatening children at the lake behind Morgan property on Elm Street." Then she adds, "I'm terrified. What the hell?" 10 minutes later, a squad car appears. Officer Ramirez, tall, cool mustache and desk, shows up, asking questions. Jenna launches into her story. I hand over my ID and the deed to the property, and he looks at it. Then at the sign, "Sir, this is clearly private property with valid ownership. Do you have HOA authority showing otherwise?" Jenna stammers. Officer Ramirez politely says, "Ma'am, you can't just put up signage or call 911 claiming trespass. You'll have to remove this in." We watch Jenna's face turn from smug to tight-lipped, then she hustles her kid off with a final ominous "This sent over so much for goodwill." The next week, I get bombarded daily. Sealed notices flooding my mailbox. Violation for overgrown native oak by the water. Fine $400. Second, excessive nocturnal wildlife sounds disturbing communitypes. Fine $250. Third, mosquito risk from standing water. Fine $750. I stared at the pile thinking this was a joke, but nope. Signed by Jenna Dedlin Neeson. 7 days. That's $1,400 on day 1 plus HOA's administrative fee added. Touch envelope. I thought about selling. Maybe I should move somewhere without HOAs, but I nervous sweated. The thought this was my life's refuge, built after years of work. I couldn't let someone come and play land game with me. Then he got an email from Jenna's HOA bookkeeper named Carol Evans. She'd worked for the HOA 8 years and was shaking at her desk when she wrote me, "David, I can't sleep. Jenna is pushing a $30,000 lake remediation plan. No invoices. No bids next week. She's proposing $50 expense. I'm required to sign off, but something's off. These expenses go to a company called Roberts Environmental Services, which is her family's My heartress, she said. Jenna threatened her if strays questions, you'll be in trouble. I realized this was the angle mazzoos of HOA funds. I messaged back, lem know when you can meet Saturday morning. Carol pulls up to my cabin. She's nervous, but determined. She shows me Thelus Lake cleanup fees, $18,000 safety consulting, $12K landscaping. Emergency fund, $10K. The names are all signed off by Jenna. And now there's a pending proposed $50,000 cleanup of your lake, I said. Let's double check the HOA charter. We dug out the incorporation dents, and sure enough, someone had created a budget manager role when the HOA was formed, someone who could approve or freeze any expenditures over $5,000. I remembered the founding meeting my neighbors were tired of. HOA overreached. Their solution was that the budget manager was separate from President. I was elected back then, long before. Jennifer came on Monday evening at the emergency HOA meeting. Jenna rolled in confident as ever with a PowerPoint emergency lake remediation to protect community health, breeding mosquitoes, bacterial risk, slides full of murky filtered lake photos, and a professional sound report. Proposed budget $50,000. She asks for a vote. Chairs nod. Most hands go up. I watched Carol go to Jenna plugs in her laptop and hits transfer bit. The screen says transaction denied, account frozen. Jenna's face went Palith bank rep on speaker explains. According to account records, the budget manager has suspended this account for investigative review. Heads turn and stand-up document in hand. Yes, that's me, the budget manager elected. In 2020, I have authority to freeze and audit. Complete silence. That's when I drop TIF bomb documents showing that Alto's so-called expenses went to Janess Campani, her son Jesse. Even her sister skatering Carol confirms, yes, exactly. Neighbors start murmuring. A guest asks, so Jenna was paying her favorites using your HOA fees. She tries to cover, saying we're good faith community. Then I pull up the transactions, $5,000 to Jesse with memo. Youth Leosin, $18,000 to Roberts. Environmental, $14,000 to Sisters Catering Business, $110,000 to a new entity Jen has set up for days. I got called Green Elm Community Fund. Shetries to deflect, it's for charity. I showed newly registered docs created after through meeting. The room is losing ethers. Open jaws, whispering, head shaking. Middle-aged Karen from 2 doors down says, that explains why I got hit with that noise violation. Another guy adds, so my pool party was paid by US. Those laughter and anger. Nina, an older neighbor, stands and says, I motion I remove Jenna as president and refer everything to the district attorney. Votes echoey. Jenna flees the stage. Jezerons. After her face red, confused, I walk up and say, this HOA is about our community, not about personal gain. We'll rebuild it together. Carol beams. That night, Jenna calls the cops, accusing me of hacking the HOA officer. Ramirez shows up, and I present certified docs, the budget manager appointment, transcript showing Jenna threatened. Carol and 1B won. The charges fall flat. Jenna is no accused of embezzlement for Kirshen. She dissolved into tears. Winthy told her she'd be arrested if she didn't surrender. Jesse shrinks, a wheezing mom. I'm so sorry, I didn't know. Weeks later, I watched on Zoom as Jenna pleaded guilty. 18 months probation, restitution of the $65,000 she took, banned from HOA positions. Jesse sold his motorcycle, moved in with his dad, started volunteering to try to make it right, and/or new HOA carols. Now CFO, we set up transparent audits. We hold monthly lakeside coffee with my neighbors. The lake is mostly mine, but if someone wants to borrow my kayak, say ask me. Community built on respect, not entitlement. So here's the ending. Justice, community reborn. But the question is, how real is this? Have you ever had a Karen try to push you around? Did you stand up or walk away? Comment below. I want to hear your side. If you're in Thews, Canada, Australia, wherever you tell Mahoa, good or HOA evil, drop your story below. Hit subscribe if you want more tales of suburban warfare, and share Thews Mabe to help someone dealing with their own Karen.